questions for Spencer Petras? Questions?
What's been going wrong here for the offense the last couple games?
They made this, there was a free safety, which one time as much as they did. Let's, obviously, like bring this inside, but it's all stuff we knew a lot of this is the game plan. I said first half, and then with the first half, figure that out. But yeah, we had seen it on film, just gotta do a better job of making them pay for it. A couple plays in the pass game that were close, they didn't get it done. But can really make that, make them pay for that blitz, but just didn't happen there.
Spencer, what was the discussion like on the 4th and 1 play with Brian? Did you guys have any other options on that play, or how you found that spot?
We're talking through what we thought our best option was, and we thought the best option was that play, and they stopped us. Did a good job.
What are the discussions just during the bye week? What type of optimism do you have you can recover from the pretty that's offensively?
During the bye week, we're working hard at the fundamentals and working to get the much needed rest, and once we got going, we were working hard towards Wisconsin. Just didn't really go our way today.
You seem to take a tough hit, the shoulder with a little discomfort. How are you feeling right now?
Good. Yep, good.
Were there any schematic differences that you're trying to do for this game after the bye week?
You mean in terms of
like doing
them or
differently on offense?
No, I mean offense is a simple. We're not inventing any plays. It's just about executing better, and we didn't execute well enough today.
When you say execute, is it usually like maybe one or two players, or are you talking about it?
Yeah, it's always that's offensive football a lot of the time. There could be 10 guys doing a great job and one guy not, and it's a bad play. I think it's a unit wide thing because it seems to show up here and there with myself, and it bounces. It wasn't perfect by anyone by any means. But one misassignment or one poor fundamentals or a bad throw or whatever, and a play is dead.
So it's obvious you don't have much time to throw it all. I know you don't want to throw the O-line under the bus at all, but can you give us a sense for how much pressure and urgency you're feeling back there in the pocket?
I just think that you see Sanborn and Chanel, like those guys are probably two of the most physical linebackers in the conference, if not the most. They had a really good D-line. It's a tough deal. It's hard to do. That's what makes them so good defensively. They're real physical, real tough. We fought our ass off. Just didn't go our way today.
With the handoff to Ivo, did it slip out of your hands? Did it hit him? Did you not know what's coming?
I honestly don't know what happened on that. Ivory said he didn't feel me put the ball in there, and so I really don't know what happened. Just a kind of a weird play that was a little fitting for that second quarter or whatever. Just tough. I don't know exactly what happened. I have to watch it on tape.
Where are the goals have changed from the last couple of weeks? How do you regroup, or where do you go from here?
Yeah, there's no panic. I mean, we've been here before, and we started last season 0-2, and the biggest thing is just to push it forward and push it through. When you get knocked down like this, it's just there's no quit in this team. There's no quit in this program. These coaches, these players. There's no quit at all. We're just gonna do what we can to review the film and see where we can be better, and then we hit the ground running on Monday. We're all eyes ahead to Northwestern and just improvement, and we will push it through. It's no fun when you're right here.
What's the difference been between the first 6 games for the offense and the last 2? And if there is a difference, how much of a difference is it?
We're running this. We have the same offense. It's just, we got beat twice. We got outplayed twice, and that can't happen. That's there's no like big one difference. We're trying to win the game still. It's just it didn't go our way, and just gotta get back to preparation and working hard.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks.
Bring the other guys in.
Okay, questions for Charlie Jones?
What are the emotions like after a tough loss like this in the locker room?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously, we come in every day and we give it everything we got at practice, and we prepare in the meeting room. So, when things don't go our way, it's obviously tough, and people are upset. But the only thing we can do is look forward to watching tape on tomorrow and getting back to it next week.
What kinds of changes, if any, did you guys talk about as an offense over the bye week that maybe you thought might pan out today?
We're just focused on the things that we do. Just coming out to practice, having an emphasis on fundamentals, getting back to the fundamentals of the game, and it was nice to get off our feet a little bit. But we got to just focus on this week.
Did they do anything that you weren't expecting, or were you prepared for pretty much everything they threw at you?
We were pretty prepared mentally that way. Just things that obviously didn't go our way.
When you left the game, I mean, obviously you came back. I mean, what kind of injury did you have? Was it shoulder, and how do you feel now?
I just got poked in the eye. I was having trouble seeing out of my right eye. So I was just waiting on the doctors to give me the okay. And when they did, I was ready to go in.
How do you go from here after 2 tough losses?
Like I said, we're just gonna, flush it, watch the tape, and just focus on, our next game and prepare the way we always prepare.
All right, thanks, Charlie.
Yep.
A little bit tougher, guys. A little.
Okay, defensive tackle Noah Shannon.
Talk about that first goal line stand that you guys stopped it on, and how big that was at that particular time in the game.
Yeah, so before we went out there, Coach Parker kind of told us how big this would be if we could, get a stop and get the ball back to the offense, and thankfully that's what we were able to do. So kind of momentum change and give our offense another chance to go down and score. So
How did the defense play in this game in your mind?
I can't speak on the defense as a whole, but as a defensive line, I felt like we shot ourselves short. I mean, we allowed, I think, over 150 rushing yards, which is not like us. So definitely something we're going to look at tomorrow in meetings and try to improve on for next week.
Was there anything in particular that the Wisconsin offense did that you weren't expecting?
No, we prepared all week for it. It was a lot of the same stuff we were seeing. There was a lot of slant and a lot of inside zone saw stuff. So, I mean, we had seen it all. It was just when it came down to executing, we didn't do our part.
How challenging was that second quarter when the turnovers were coming from the offense and you guys were having to put those fires out?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're used to it. It's something we call sudden change. So it's something we practice each week and during practice. So we're kind of built for that. So, but, yeah.
How do you guys just, process what's happened for the last 3 weeks? Your day or bye week then?
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. I mean, these past 2 losses, but I mean, it's something that we've been through. Like looking back at last year, we started off 0-2, and we went on our little 6-game win streak, and everybody just stayed together. And that's our plan now: is to go back tomorrow, look at this film, and stick together and continue our to grow towards wins.
Is that difficult knowing that one unit played pretty well, the other one didn't? That is it hard to stick together, or is that going to take leadership, or is it not hard at all?
I mean, it's definitely going to take leadership to keep everybody together, but it's a team sport. There's 11 people on the field at all times. Like, yeah, you could say that maybe the defense played a little better, but we could have had multiple. There was plays out there where we could have had turnovers and given the ball back to our offense in the red zone. So, I mean, we didn't play perfect either. It's a team sport.
Are there any takeaways that you can have from that 0-2 start last year now as you hit this rough patch?
Yeah, definitely. That was something Coach was just talking to us about, how we started off last season 0-2. And, I mean, it takes leadership, like I said, and it's just going to take all of us sticking together and believing in the plan.
All right, thanks, Noah.
Yeah.
We'll get Seth Benson and Jack Kerner in here as well.
Michigan State's ahead.
Oh, they are now?
37-33.
How much time?
Seconds, minutes, days, years?
Yeah, no.
I'm not a convict.
Weddings, like 20
Steve.
Greyhound train. Stop the Greyhound No, we can help us with it. That's right. I was running 4 safeties. Wisconsin getting 2 safeties, 2 field goals.
Double up the 6-4. Was that 7 or 8 overtimes?
They're all. And Wake Forest scored 72 points without it last week.
That was almost a retirement night for me. Okay, what?
You're never going to look.
Like we said, that's up to 1.5. There's no start in it either. It is kind of fun. Me and the second very much. Yeah. It is well.
Well, he is the state's highest paid employee. I was reminded.
I hear it, we're gonna hear it, the tax money.
I was reminded of that by somebody.
Actually, I got, but yeah,
That's right. It's a rite of passage.
It's not the same though.
So it's never passed.
It's not the same if they do it, since they didn't bring the aluminum out to AC. That should be good. That was across.
They haven't been, the first two were the best. It's been downhill since.
They bring those things out in like the first quarter, 10 a.m.
My friend, we were
Healer
sitting
ate a
there
whole
just
lot.
like, I'll be like 75 years old on my deathbed, and someone will ask me my biggest regret, I'm gonna say, I didn't go up in a biplane and Tampa.
That was fun, we missed it.
Susan did.
I always regretted that.
Came very close to leaving.
You do the biplane, didn't you?
I did. I didn't, but I came as close as possible.
I didn't like it when the guy faked like he was losing control of the plane. He did one of those things we were free falling for a little bit and he knew he had me scared.
That happened
He
with
thought that
Jerry.
was really funny.
Jerry Full one time when I was.
Right over Tampa Bay.
Jerry Full still alive?
You call that living?
I saw him about a month ago, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
I miss
Wow.
him.
I remember flying home with him from Ohio State for a basketball game.
If you flew low enough,
Yeah,
you could
about
crack
2,000
you
feet.
could crack the window to have a cigarette.
Which you would do.
Which you do.
And it was like 120 below in that plane.
Touchdown, Cleveland, or a little low enough. I want to keep you happy, so.
It was loud and cold. That's what I remember about the ride. It was cheap.
Linebacker Seth Benson.
So for the first drive, their first scoring drive, they seem to be able to kind of go up the field on you. What was it about that drive that kind of was difficult to stop, and then how were you able to kind of slow them down after that?
Yeah, I think first of all we just got to make tackles. We got to run through tackles, and but yeah, the first drive we had a good plan coming in. They just kind of grinded it out right there, and but I think like you said, going after that drive, just keep staying on it, keep fighting, trust the plan, know that we got good guys that are going to grind and never give up. And we just got to trust the plan, trust our preparation, trust our coaches, and just keep fighting. And I think that's what you saw.
After these last two games, how hard is it to stay positive right now?
I mean, everything's still in front of us. So we got. I mean, obviously, we just got to stay positive. We got to keep coming in every day with positive attitude. We got to just make sure we keep everyone together, keep everyone going. Because I mean, we still got 4 games to play. So, I mean, obviously. No one should have their head down. Obviously, we're disappointed, but there's no reason not to be positive.
Are there any takeaways you can take from last year's 0-2 start now as you go through this rough stretch?
Yeah, I mean, last year we started off 0-2, and from there we didn't lose. And but I think that just goes back to never fighting, never stop fighting, and like I said before, just having that positive attitude, keeping guys together, and having good guys, having leaders on the team. Everyone's on a leader of the team, but just having guys keep coming, keep working hard, staying together, never stop fighting.
This was the first team Wisconsin has run the ball successfully against you. What was the difference today as opposed to the other 7 games?
Yeah, obviously we knew coming in that they were going to run the ball, and we just didn't execute good enough. We didn't make the plays when we needed to make them, and yeah, we just gotta make sure we learn from it and come back better next week.
How difficult was that second quarter where there was a lot of quick changes out there and you guys had to put out the fire, which you did a little for at least one of the drives, but then of course getting on your own 1-yard line is awfully difficult.
Yeah, as a defense, we really, yeah, like you said, put out the fire, and that's the standard. So wherever we get the ball, our job is to stop them, take the ball, score, and we didn't get that done. So we just gotta we practice it. We practice putting out the fire. And we gotta be better no matter what. There's no excuses.
All right, thanks, Seth.
Thanks, guys.
Safety Jack Kerner.
Jack, you've been through some of these crossroad moments before in your career. How do you guys kind of get through this? Because you had them last year, you had them even a couple of years ago.
I mean, yeah, we just have to fall back on the stuff that led us to our success. Practicing hard. That's really all it comes down to, is understanding what led us to success, and we just got to kind of fall back on our fundamentals there.
What's been different about the last 2 games as opposed to the first 6?
I don't know. I feel like we just weren't quite as ready to go as in previous games. It's real hard. It's really hard to say. It's not something that's really like tangible. It's just we got outplayed the last 2 games, and we gotta correct it.
So when you say you weren't ready to go, coming off a bye week, is there any way to explain that?
Well, we're not ready to go is not exactly what I wanted to say. I mean, yeah, we just got outplayed. That's all there really is to it. Credit to Wisconsin. It's just we didn't play our best game today, and that's all there really is to it.
How difficult is this for you? I mean, on a personal level, I mean, you guys had everything in front of you. I mean, national championship potentially, and now that's seemingly gone. I mean, does that kind of hit you? You guys discuss that, or are you trying not to worry about that right now?
We're just trying to worry about going on a game-by-game basis. I mean, yeah, we're 6-2 right now. It feels pretty bad being 6-2 right now with how we started the season, but we were 6-2 at the end of last season, feeling pretty good. So, and we won 6 games straight after being 6-2. So I think they'd like to think that we can respond really well from this and finish out the season, because there's plenty more to play for.
How frustrating is it when you guys get these stops and then you right back out there with Wisconsin starting 3 drives in the red zone?
I mean, we're just going out there to do what we're supposed to do on defense, is get a stop. We practice that way, and if we get put in a tough situation, so be it. But I mean, if we lost the game 50-49, we wouldn't expect the offense to say anything to us, and it won't go that way, vice versa. So, I mean, it's a team loss at the end of the day. So.
Just team-wide, I mean, other than getting rest during the bye week, what was the message, I guess, from coaches?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Other than just getting rest for your bodies, what was the message from coaches during the bye week that you thought maybe would show up better today?
Yeah, just correcting some of the fundamental stuff, and whether that was Purdue or just the whole season, just some of the stuff that we could get better at. Getting some younger guys, being able to get them some reps and kind of let them develop a little bit, but it really just focusing on the fundamentals, that we got to fall back on to be successful, really.
Terry Roberts, so was that something that happened later in the week where you guys were scrambling again? Now you're on your 4th corner. I know both guys traveled, but
yeah,
it had to be tough to adjust late in the week.
Yeah, that happened later in the week, and Jermari, he did a great job he's thrown into the fire. I know what that feels like, and he did a great job preparing, and there was no confidence lost when he's in there. Same way was when we lost Riley and put Terry in. That's just how we're wired on defense. It's next man in mentality, and so whoever's going to be in there, the standard is the standard, and it's going to be upheld.
Any words of wisdom there for Jamari getting thrown into that?
Yeah, I just spoke to him after the game. His best football is in front of him. He didn't play his best game. I didn't play my best game. Nobody on defense or offense, special teams played their best game today. There's just nobody. There's no one person that should be hanging their head extra low today. It's a team loss, and we just got to learn from it and grow from it.
Graham Mertz had, I think, 9 of his first 10 passes complete, and then I think it was 2 of his next 12 after that. Was there something the secondary saw and kind of made that adjustment on?
Yeah, we were just being able to just play our fundamentals a little bit better. I keep saying that word, but that's really what it comes down to. We weren't as tight earlier in the game, and we started to kind of hone it in a little bit, and it started to show. It's too bad we couldn't have got that going a little bit sooner in the game.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach in here in a minute.
Michigan State did win.
Heading to the bayou.
37.
We're going to Tampa Bay now? Sit down. How do you feel about the Waffle House?
See, I didn't get to go last time. I've never been to a Waffle House.
Oh, you never did until you've been to that Waffle House. Might run into a guy that should have been Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
And he's on drugs. Ooh, that was a quick start this morning before I even went to see the Rapids. I thought the quickest shot was with you on the regular drug people. No, I was by myself. I got stuck going to the Waffle House by myself. That's part of the issue. This guy today gave me a sob story at 6:30 in the morning at the quick start about being in the VA. And I said, I'll take you in. I'll get you anything that you want. He took off and off.
Wasn't that a Waffle House in Miami week?
In Miami,
Right across from the hotel?
that was the Sandbar.
Well, we have the DI photographer. The DI photographer was cute.
IHOP.
Oh, IHOP.
Yeah.
Remember he put sour cream on his omelet?
You know.
And then and wondered why he puked.
I can't remember whether that was Curtis or Zach.
I think it was Curtis. I remember. Someone over the age of 25. Wow, what a play. What a play.
Just a quick reminder, send me your requests for interviews by Sunday morning. We should find out later tonight about the exact start time of the Northwestern game, a night game for sure next week. And then Monday, we should hear on Minnesota start time. So with that, we'll get right to it.
Good, everybody set? So just start by congratulating Coach Chris and the Badgers. They're a tough veteran team. Played really well today, and obviously we couldn't match our tempo, so didn't play well enough to win the football game, that's for sure. Sure, our fans are frustrated right now, and they want the best for our football team. We appreciate that. And we certainly have work to do and work to continue to do, and that's what we've been doing. The biggest thing right now I tried to share with our team is the season isn't over, and we've, we'll lick our wounds here and go back to work on that. We struggled offensively today. That was pretty obvious, and they've got a very, very aggressive veteran defensive football team. So, when that goes on, turn the ball over, we can't protect the way we need to. It's going to be tough to expect to win. and that was a big factor. I think saw a lot of good individual efforts out there, a lot of good responses to tough situations. I was pleased about that. But the bottom thing is we just couldn't make the plays you got to make against the team that is playing at a really high level right now. So the biggest thing right now is what's at the root of it, and all I know is we just keep working. That's the biggest thing we'll do, and encourage our guys to keep doing it. That's how you get better in football, or just about anything you do. It's hard to do. So, as I showed the team, we're sitting here right now, we're 6-2, and compared to a couple of weeks, that's certainly not where we wanted to be. But in football and in seasons, you're going to face adversity. That's really all about how you handle those things and sticking with what you believe in. So losing always has been tough. It's all about staying together and then trying to find solutions. And I'm sure we'll get plenty of suggestions on what the issues are. Most of them are on tape, and it's really about finding solutions, and that's what we've been doing, and we'll continue to do that. And we're going to play it out and see where it all ends up. But right now, it's a tough day for our football team, good day for Wisconsin, and we're going to move forward. And I'll throw it out for questions.
Is the difference between the first 6 games and the last 2 as simple as turnover margin?
It doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help. And, the Purdue one is exaggerated. The turnover part's exaggerated because you're playing from behind there in the fourth quarter and you make some throws you normally wouldn't make. But nonetheless, it was a factor. And then certainly today, and I think, if you talk to Paul, he'd probably flip it over on their side. It was a big issue for them for whatever reason, because it's really uncharacteristic of their football team. But they've done a good job of that the last 4 weeks now, and it shows up in the win column. So it's a big thing, especially in this game.
On that, you guys called timeout on that 4th and 1. You guys
Yep.
elected to go to potty bomb. What was kind of the thought process there? What was
Needless to say, we thought it was the best call, and needless to say, it wasn't successful. And again, I think in that third quarter, we came out and played. Our guys were fighting. We had a chance to win the football game, or at least get right back in it and get to where it might be winnable. But right after that play, it just swung the momentum. It was pretty much over at that point. So to their credit, they made a great stop, and we'd like to have the call back, absolutely. But it's like any call that doesn't work. That's always a truism.
You said you thought that was the best call. Why?
We've had success. We've had success up in the middle of our line, and I'm talking about over the season. It's been a good thing for us. But yeah, if you had to do it over again, it's like anything that doesn't work, you'd do it over again.
What's wrong with the offense in your mind right now?
We're not moving the ball consistently enough, and go right down all the list of reasons. So it's like anything, Chad. You continue to learn more about your players as the season goes on, what they can do, can't do, and then we've got to figure out a better way to plan to give them a better chance. But I don't think there's any one specific reason right now. We're just not executing well enough to get the job done and get the ball moved with consistency.
Are there any specific changes you anticipate making to the offense to get it back to where it needs to be?
I can't answer that right now. Hopefully, we're able to come up with a plan, a little better plan maybe that can give us a little bit more consistency. We're learning about our players, and we've got a lot of young guys in there that are working. But, I can't give anything today. We just finished the game half hour ago, so we'll see what we can do, put a better plan together for next week, and hopefully it'll show up Saturday.
Seems like you're trying a couple of different right tackles, and it doesn't seem like they're working out. Did you feel like you had a good offensive line plan coming in, or were you kind of worried about it internally?
Well, if there's separation, two things at play right now. If there's separation, that guy, nobody's challenged Linderbaum yet for his job. But if there's separation, those guys are going to play more. And then, we've got injury things that we're dealing with too. And, guys injured where they can't play, and then guys that have some things that are playing through. So that affects how you prepare. It affects how guys perform on Saturdays too. So take all that in consideration. I'm not going to share those details with you, but that's part of the football team. That's just part of the terrain that we have to navigate, and just find out what the best course for us is.
Early in the game, right after you got the ball midfield on the kickoff, you went empty. And did you feel like that was the right strategy against a team like this?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not that bad. Shit, it was the first play of the game, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it would be a good, effective way. And obviously, we didn't move the ball there, and that hurt. We had good field position on the return, right? Nice return. And can't say enough about Charlie's work right now, but nice return. And not to move the ball there and hopefully, at least put it down there a little bit better. But then, Torrey did a great job giving us field position there. He did a nice job punting too. So, but yeah, we thought it was a good play. Nothing really looked really good, consistently other than maybe in the third quarter.
The players, before you spoke a lot about the 0-2 start last year and how they responded after that. The week after that 0-2 start, good win against Michigan State, I imagine there's a lot of good energy that week in practice. What do you anticipate the feeling to be like when you get back at work on Monday?
We'll actually be with the guys tomorrow, and we got good guys on our team. I mean, a team that is fun to be around. They're fun to work with. They're high character guys. So nobody in our camp's ready to pack it in. We got a 12-game schedule. We knew that 12 weeks ago, or however many weeks ago, when August started, and we're gonna play it out. I mean, we can't afford to be reactionary. You just got to play it out, good, bad, or indifferent, and. So the approach really doesn't change a lot from 5 weeks ago, or whenever, I've been there before, 04, we were 2-2, and things weren't looking too good coming out of Arizona State. So it's a long race, our players need to understand that, and it's just about trying to move forward day by day, week by week. And, we only got 1 week now until the next game. So, the improvement we can make in these next 7 days is going to be, and anything about improvement too, you just never know when it's really going to show up. And it clearly didn't show up enough today.
Do you feel the offense was close? Do you feel you're close to getting over the hump?
I'd like to see the film first, but, today we didn't match up well. There's no question about that, and part of that you got to consider who we're playing. They got a pretty veteran defense. Check out their statistics. They're fairly impressive, and they backed them up today. So, but, we'll look at this film, dissect it, and then, see what we can do to match up next week.
What did you like about your defensive effort out there today?
I thought they kept playing, outside of the one drive early. Wisconsin took the ball and drove it the length, whatever it was, 80 yards or 70 yards. But even there, we didn't give up the big play. We didn't, which last week was really big for Wisconsin, and that was obviously a focal point for us. 70-yard run, and whatever the other one was, 20, 25. So it could have been 70 if they'd been back further. So, happy about that part of it. And, I thought they fought them. We put them in some really tough situations off those turnovers, and they kept battling, kept fighting. And up until the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, we had a chance to get right back in the game. I mean, I think everybody on our sideline thought we were going to do it. And, didn't make it. So, now we got to regroup. I saw a lot of good efforts out there and a lot of guys fighting hard.
Did Ivory not get the ball? Did he know he was getting the ball? And what happened there at the goal line?
No, he knew he was getting the ball. I can't tell you what happened with the exchange itself, and but obviously the ball ended up on the ground. That's just not good. But it wasn't a trick play or a surprise to him at all. And it was a designed run. Yeah.
How is Terry Roberts feeling? Made the trip, but he didn't play. Do you anticipate he didn't come back soon?
Yeah. So he had an injury during the week, and we're hoping. It's a bruise, deep bruise. So we'll just have to take it day by day, week by week. But good news is there's nothing more significant, but it's painful, and he can't perform right now. And that hurts us on special teams, too. He's a really good special teams performer. And, hats off to Jamari stepping in there, and, anxious to see how he played on the film. But he stepped in there and competed.
Any update on Moss and Craig?
Moss has been week to week, so we'll see how it looks here. I'll probably know more Tuesday. Deontay, I think, is probably in that same neighborhood, but we'll see how he's doing during the week too. But they're both, if it's not this week, hopefully next week. But these are hard to pin down.
Was Padilla in there because Spencer got hurt a little bit?
Yeah, he hit the ground pretty hard, and it just at that point, I think it was probably the best decision for everybody.
So there's nothing for us to.
No. We'll start that on Tuesday, or sooner. Yeah, or sooner.
You know how this goes. I mean, the offensive coordinator's taking a lot of heat today out there.
Can't imagine that. Serious? Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, what confidence level do you have in him to turn things around?
It's my 23rd year, and I've had confidence in our coaches 23 years. I mean, that's how I feel right now. What we do every time you hit a bump, you pull together, you work hard, and we got a good room of people and a good staff of people. We'll figure out what we can do to get better, and that's it'll be a collective effort all week, and it is every week. So, but I got total confidence in our staff. I think we got an outstanding staff.
6 sacks. How important is it to better protect Petrus as you're trying to better execute on offense?
Yeah, that was a problem today. I mean, we couldn't hold up against them, and part of it was one-on-one matchups. Part of it was a guy coming free on the blitz, that type of deal. So, Just like turnovers are huge. If you're getting sacked 6 times, you're not going to win. And part of that, too, is how the game plays out. So if you're chasing a car all the time, that's not a good deal. And, the last 2 weeks in particular, Wisconsin's really been able to play the way they want to play, which is, with a lead and, just able to throw the ball when they want to. So, we'll just keep working. And the good news is I think those guys will get better.
And what makes Braylon Allen so tough to defend?
He's just a good football player. I mean, you saw him. He's a big, strong, physical guy and really defies his age. I think Mike said he's 17. So that's impressive. It's impressive. It's one thing to have all those physical attributes. You read about them. Guys go to combines and all that. But when you can play football in this kind of environment, competitive like he has, the last couple of weeks, that's really impressive for a young guy. He'd be impressive at age 21 too, but for 17, that doesn't come along too often. I don't know if I'd mentioned it to you guys, but somebody asked about that. Have I ever seen that? Tony Dorsett did it in 1974 or 1973. So I'm sure somebody else has since then, but there's one other guy. It doesn't happen often. Yep.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.